Star Travelers, Chapter 1, Part 3. As above, so below. The correspondence. Anya through the portal to the stars. Anya leaned her bike against a tree in a small wooded park in Kansas City, USA, Earth. She tore off her backpack and left it on the ground. It was filled with a box of crackers, a sweater, her cell phone, her flute, and directions to Chicago. Her blanket was rolled and tied, her water bottle packed. It wasn't much, but it was enough. She could play on street corners and sleep in the woods. She was not afraid. Anya had been planning her escape for a long time, almost 3 months. Now, she was finally free. She traveled across town to a lovely park with a rose and lavender garden, weeping willows, maple and oak trees. A chapel nearby quietly waited for visitors. She was familiar with this place. She'd been exploring the small campus a few times after summer school orchestra practice. A stream ran noisily through the gully nearby. If she saw anyone heading her way, she thought, it would be easy to hide in the green canopy of leaves. In her wallet, she carried $111, her driver's license. She sat on the swing and began pumping her legs, lifting herself up as high as possible. Soon, she could see over the tops of most trees. As close as I can get to flying, she thought. I'm free at last. Why run away? It was such a dramatic solution to her loneliness that some would probably laugh. But right now, it seemed the only answer. She had to find her real home, and it seemed Kansas City was not it. Loneliness enveloped her soul and was not assuaged by friendships of squirrels or flowers or sky or trees as it had been when she was a girl. Other people were not something she could understand. Their motivations were confusing. At least in books, the author would explain the motivation. In real life, not so much. As a girl, she'd felt so connected to those things that others apparently did not see. Somehow, the forest surrounding the Missouri River was so alive. With every day that passed, the forest seemed to grow, change just a little bit. The grasses, moss, and clover grew or died back. New tree sprouts lifted their tiny branches, and tender flowers advanced along the path, day by day. But it was not just the change of seasons. It was also the presence of the deer, the fox, the songbird, and especially the majestic eagle. She'd been so aware of the delicate presence of all living things in the forest along the Missouri River, she could feel them, and sometimes, on a perfect spring day, she almost became them as she sat quietly in the forest. Like the deer and the geese that she knew were present but did not always see, those who are invisible were present, and to her it seemed obvious, though no one she knew ever mentioned it. She asked a friend about it once, and his response was direct and cold. "Anya, you mustn't think about those things. You could get in trouble." How could she get in trouble for thinking? When she took off her glasses and squinted, sparkling orbs appeared in the corner of her eyes. In photographs, they showed up too, looking like tiny bubbles, sometimes rainbow-colored orbs. Only now, she began to believe they were just reflections from a mirror hit with sunlight instead of invisible, magical friends. She kept pumping, rocking back and forth to keep herself flying as high as possible on the swing. Up there, the treetops sparkled like emeralds, with each delicate leaf catching the sun from a different direction as they gently turned and swayed in the wind. "Oh," she sighed, "I'm free at last."